is Glenn Tapley with Oviedo Toastmasters, and I'm giving another member interview, a profile for one of our members, so you can see more about the people who are members of our club, the diversity, and the varied backgrounds that everybody comes from. First of all, a little bit about me. I joined Toastmasters in September of 1977. Yeah, I know it's before a lot of you were born. And I've been a member for a long time. And I've had the joy of meeting a lot of people. And in my current club, we have some amazing people. And I'd like to introduce you to one of them right now. So right now, I'd like to introduce Eric Boehm. Eric, would you please tell everybody a little bit about yourself?
Well, thank you, Glenn. I'm been a resident of the general area for about 5 years now, and lived in East Central Florida, or Orlando area, for my whole life. I've come across many different programs over the years to help that are involved with self-improvement, either with networking or professional development. But what I found out with Toastmasters is that this organization represents value on a skill that is waning in society, and it's only becoming a bit more challenging due to the most recent circumstances of COVID-19, and that is interpersonal communication, both formal and impromptu. I've been able to see great results coming from my 2.5 years, I believe at this point, with Toastmasters, both with the Oviedo Club and the Winter Springs Club. With that in mind, I continue to want to rise up and take on more challenges within the organization that it provides, including looking at leadership opportunities at different levels and currently officer positions with the clubs that I'm with.
Okay, let me
And
ask
I
you.
think I've learned a lot. I've had a routine.
Okay, you talked about leadership. So I know you're an officer and you're the incoming president for Oviedo Toastmasters. And one of the questions I have is, have you really noticed a change in your leadership skills that has affected you outside of the club, at work or in your personal relationships?
I've been working to do that. One of the reasons why I joined Toastmasters is I've not had too many opportunities to utilize my public speaking skills and to necessarily utilize leadership skills on a management level. But I have been able to take on a couple roles within the last year at my workplace that involved at least some public speaking and some leadership skills. One of those was an assignment where I was presenting my particular division, my unit at the company, to other locations. My company has many locations across Southeast United States and a couple other places in the United States. And I was able to explain to them what my role was and how I can help them expand the services that our company is able to provide. And it was a very successful project. And I plan on doing it again once things settle down, being in that particular, taking part in that particular role again and repeating that project.
That sounds great. What about communication skills? I have seen you give many speeches and I've seen your development, but how do you feel your public speaking and skills and presenting yourself, how have you developed? Has it improved? Has it changed it drastically? Has it opened up any new doors?
First of all, I've definitely been able to get rid of a lot of the ahs and ums. I was self-aware of that, and sometimes I still hear myself say that, and it sort of messes me up a little bit when I'm critiquing myself in the middle of speech. That's something I'm still working on, is to have a bit more self-confidence. But I have overall been able to reduce as the long pauses I used to have, not talk over myself during speeches, and very importantly, not having to repeat what I just said because I didn't like what I said it the first time. That was a problem I had continuously, not just professionally, but personally. I would go and call somebody, leave a voicemail, and then a third of the way through, no, I gotta fix it up. Now I'm getting it a lot more quickly. And that's practice. And that's one of the great things about Toastmasters is you have a place where you can go and practice those skills, because you can learn all you want, just like in schooling. You can be taught the skill, but if you never use it, you'll forget it. I don't remember geometry anymore because I never used it afterwards. The same thing would happen with public speaking skills. That's what's so great about Toastmasters. Since I don't have my opportunities to do it professionally, I can do it in this setting. And that's one of the great things about this club. And that's why I encourage people to give speeches as much as possible.
All right. Another question. Aside from leadership, aside from communications, have you derived any benefit from a social standpoint as far as how you interact with people, how you present yourself with others?
I can still be a bit introverted. And particularly right now, since a lot of us are spending more time in the home, there are fewer opportunities to go about and practice those skills with people.
I understand.
One place where I can do that is outing of our virtual meetings. There I can go and break out my shell.
Have those virtual meetings, in your opinion, have they been successful? Have they been worthwhile and provided any kind of outlet for leadership, communication, and social skills?
When in fact, I could very well stand up, put a suit on. I have more, it's easier to do things sometimes when you're at home. Have the supplies on hand to create a performance, not just a speech. Be able to stand up. That you can still do on Zoom. But there's still those little quirks, you could say, and also the ability to see people as they are. We still need to have, we're losing those skills, I believe, in terms of that, because it takes more confidence to meet people directly in person than it is visually through a screen. Yet we're learning new skills that are going to be used by organizations of the future who are going to look and say, we really don't need that office anymore, or we really don't have to travel to do this meeting.
So you think that the virtual meetings that we've been doing have helped you develop skills that will help you in your career as well, because a lot of companies are going to be moving more and more to virtual meetings after how these last few months have gone?
I would say so, because there's a lot of other things you have to learn when you're doing these particular video conferences. And one right now is your background, right? I happen to pick a background that's a little bit busy when really I should be picking a background that's a bit more professional, or maybe a solid color, so it's less distracting. But when I do eventually go on to having a speech that is done for work, I would make sure to learn all the different skills, all the different habits, and focus on that upper body and maybe the whole body if I'm able to provide that speech standing up, being self-aware of what I'm doing, which is actually easier to do because you have a little screen that shows what you're doing at a given time.
All right. One last question, because we're kind of running out of time here. What final words do you have for the people who are watching this video about Toastmasters, about life, about what you think is important for them to understand?
It is always best to be out there, no matter, you may be limited sometimes legally in how social you can be nowadays, but you need to be out there as much as possible, express yourself in a professional and certainly in a dignified and respectful manner. We need to practice that as much as possible, and if we do that more often, we would all have better understanding of our views and of each other. And I really do think that Toastmasters, at least in the clubs I've been in, respect that, and that is very hard to do in society, particularly in the Twitter age, or Twitter and social media ages, where unfortunately a lot of us don't respect each other. If we actually met each other face to face, we'd probably be more likely to be respectful, and that's something Toastmasters allows, and I think we should all be doing no matter what, if we're in a club or not. We should be out there and being friendly.
Listen, I want to thank you for spending this time with me to discuss all of this and to help shine a window on what our club is like, what the people are like. I have other interviews that have been done and are going to be done, and they're all going to be on a post on a page on our website so that people can browse them at any time. So I thank you for your assistance, and I thank you for cooperation, and that's it.